Hello, everybody, and welcome to this premiere of season 2 of WrestleSpeak Podcast. Yes, I am back doing this. It's been a long while, but I miss you guys. Oh, man. Since I've now, WrestleSpeak Podcast is coming to Monday nights, baby. A new night and a new time and a new season. Hooray!
Yeah, we got ourselves some hot porno.
Yeah, all right. Joining me for this premiere is to my right is Jordan Little, aka J Man's legit. Excuse me.
There you go. Well, hey, you almost got it right, but that was good.
Almost got it. Yeah. Say hello to the fans.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? And I am also going to be representing Kevin Alvarez, and it's a beautiful, wonderful, beautiful day. And just want to say that I am training to be a pro wrestler at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling Training Academy, and I will say it's an honor to be trained by the 5-time WC champion, because everyone knows, and even Dante knows, I'm the sexiest man alive, and I get all the women thanks to Booker T.
Hey, Brandon Martin. Hey, Dante and Jordan. Hello, Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
All right, Brandon, you can join us if you want to. All right, enough of the chit chat. Let's get this premiere underway. Right now, we're gonna review AEW Double or Nothing 2021. Oh man, it was an amazing night last night.
It was. It really was, especially when you had a full capacity of people in the building. That was amazing.
All right. I need to go.
Hey, Brandon, if you don't mind, you can go. Can you go ahead and share the link? In fact, everybody,
Jordan,
go ahead and share the link. Share the link to. Well, you know what, Charlie? Here's the thing. You may try, but you ain't gonna succeed.
All right, I'm going to CBS
Now,
Sports.
if you want to be, want to be a good boy, why don't you share the stream with, other people and other servers, so that way Dante can have some viewers raised.
Yes, need some new viewers. All right. All right, are you ready for our review of AEW Double or Nothing 2021?
Yes.
Let's do it. All right. Go ahead. Do it CBS Sports style as always.
CBS Sports style. I don't do CBS Sports. I do my own.
Yeah, I know. All right, on Sunday night, AEW returned to pay-per-view with Double or Nothing in front of a full-capacity crowd at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Despite through the more than 4 hours of action, the show delivered plenty of excitement and memorable moments, including an incredible triple threat match for the AEW Championship and the return of the Stadium Stampede. The Stadium Stampede closed the show, featuring Chris Jericho's Inner Circle and MJF's Pinnacle battling throughout TIAA Bank Field before ending inside Daly's Place in front of the live crowd. The match, which featured a fun cameo from Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer, was all spectacular. Sorry, I can't speak. That's the first had been in 2020.
Well, that's because you're wrestling to speak.
Yes, I know. Providing a fitting close to one of AEW's strongest figures in cards in this short history. All right. We start off with the buy-in. It was NWA Women's Championship. So Serena Deeb defeated Riha. No, hold on. And I'm sorry, I can't speak to me. What is wrong with me today? It's not the way to start the series for season premiere.
It's fine. I mean, after all.
NWA Women's Championship, Serena Deeb versus Riho. All right. Deeb and Riho exchanged strikes early before a Riho crossbody from the top rope scored the first near fall of the match. Deeb took over at that point, aggressively taking the fight to Riho and delivering 7 European uppercuts before crawling at the face of Riho. Riho eventually fought her way back into a diving stop from the top rope. Riho kept her foot on the gas, hitting a Norman-like suplex for a near fall before missing a stuck to the ring apron, average brain of her knee. which Deeb had exactly off the match. Deeb continued to focus on the knee before a powerbomb for a 2 count. A Tiger suplex lifted, tilted Dave's back Rio's leg while Running Knee was countered into a single leg crab, again attacking Rio's knee. Deeb countered a crucifix by sending Randall's knee into the canvas several times before locking a single leg crab again to force a submission. This was a very solid match, and that got over how ruthless Deeb could be while keeping Riho strong as a presence in the women's locker room. So, and the grade level for that match is a B+.
Personally, I see no problem with that. But I will say though, I gave this match. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can remember all the ratings I gave last night. Immediately following the pay-per-view because I mean, after all, I've been going through a lot. And by the way, you're one. Okay, you're one to talk about ego, Charlie. I mean, after all, you've been like someone once complained saying like you have a big ego, and now I'm being made fun of again.
All right, that was a good one. Now we go to the main show, which is Brian Cage versus Adam Payne.
I was almost done with my take on the match.
Oh, you almost done? I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh, it's good. The thing is, the one thing I don't, like about the match is the fact that it had to be on a buy-in for like a women's title is put on a buy-in show. I mean, if you want my personal perspective, I would have saved this for NWA Power show, or at least an NWA pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
That way we could have a partnership and somewhat of a relation between NWA and AEW. But as far as this match goes, I think I gave this match a 4 out of 5. Not going to be 100% sure, but I did enjoy this match.
Oh, Michael says, "What's up?" Hey, what's up, Michael?
Wait, Michael Bombardier?
Yes.
Ah, good to see. Yeah. You know what? Right. Let me just say this. Can you pull up that comment again?
Yeah.
You know what I've always noticed, Michael, is the fact that for someone to be standing right next to a good-looking woman like that, I'd be like, you lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's next? Paige versus Cage.
Yeah.
Wow, that rhymed.
Yeah. And Christian Miracle says, "Nobody likes a rhymer." All right. A quick start for Paige was briefly cut off and Cage threw him into the ringside barricade. While Paige came back with a suicide dive, Cage powerbombed him into the ring post seconds later. When Cage continued battling through Paige's clotheslines, Paige tried to change the momentum by hitting a big moonsault to the outside and a run from the second rope for a near fall. Paige went for Deadeye, formerly known as the Rites of Passage, but that was countered to a ripcord forearm and a one-arm neckbreaker from Cage. Cage tried to flip into the ring for his own buckshot there, but Paige countered into the F5. Paige then went for his own buckshot, but was hit by it with a huge suplex and a buckle bomb for Cage discus lariat. A speedy powerbomb from Cage got a 2 count. Hook and Ricky starts making their way to the ringside, who starts sliding the FTW title in the ring. Cage refused to help, to prove he could beat Paige alone. This allowed Paige to hit the buckshot lariat for the victory in a hot opener that suffered from a few rough spots in some of the bigger swings. And the grade level for that is a B+.
Yeah, I agree with that one and I'm gonna have to give that one a 4 out of 5 too. I don't know what I gave it originally, but I will say that.
Hangman Charlie says, "Oh, speaking of prom night mistakes, hey Michael."
Sorry about that. If you can hear my sister, I'm gonna move to a different area so you don't hear her. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
But anyway, so the match itself, I thought it was a great match, but here's the problem. I knew Paige was gonna win because. Let's face facts. He's already the number one contender in the AEW World Title picture, and on top of that, the FTW title wasn't even on the line. So if the FTW title was on the line, I would say that it would have had a mixed reaction from me on who would win the match, because it would have leaned towards Cage's favor, but since the FTW title was not on the line again for obvious reasons, because after all, I think Taz should have his own promotion called FTW, which actually could make that title more legit, make it a training system, but instead it's not. However, I will give credit where credit's due. It's really showcasing signs of Brian Cage becoming a babyface soon and leaving Team Taz and all that, and I think this ought to be, and this match was a great opener for the pay-per-view, especially when you're in front of a live capacity crowd after almost a year and a couple months since the pandemic hit. So yeah, I give this match, 4 out of 5. I don't know what I gave it originally last night, but then again, everything was all crazy.
All right, that's good. All right, next we have the AEW Tag Team titles. The Bucks defending against Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. Moxley and Kingston attacked the Bucks as the champions, ended their entrance in an explosion of streamers. As the brawl continued outside the ring, Kingston hit a suicide dive and Moxley choked the fan's beard. The Young Bucks briefly got the upper hand after Moxley and Kingston attacked Brandon Cutler, allowing the match to finally officially start. Challengers took the action back over using some stereotypical humor on the heel champions until a Nick Jackson eye poke let the Bucks isolate Kingston in their corner. Kingston pulled a suplex allowed him to make the hot tag to Moxley, who ran from both Jacksons, hitting both them with power drivers before locking Matt Jackson in the Bulldog choke before Nick ran in to break the submission. Gallows and Anderson came to ringside before Frankie Kazarian ran in to make the save before Nick Jackson put Moxley in the eyes with hairspray and hit him in the head with the can, busting Moxley open. The Bucks hit Moxley with a melted driver on the entrance rather than attacking the overcut on Moxley's forehead. Moxley desperately tried to crawl towards Kingston for the tag, but he was hit by a series of kicks to the chest and back by both Jacksons. The Bucks mocked Moxley with a shield fist pose before Moxley hit a double German suplex and made the tag to Kingston, who raced into the ring and dominated. The numbers caught up again, and the Bucks were able to put Kingston down with an assisted sliced bread. Kingston got his knees up on the next swanton and made the tag to Moxley, who immediately made a double super kick. Moxley locked in a weird naked choke, but Dick broke it up with a 450 splash for a 2 count. In the ensuing chaos, Moxley used a Dior Jordan shoe to hit a doomsday device for a near fall. Nick locked Moxley in a sharpshooter, but Kingston made the save before Moxley hit the Paragon shift for a 2 count on Nick. Eventually, the Bucks finished Moxley off with 4 BTE triggers to end a fantastic match with tons of convincing false finishes. And the grade for that match is an A.
I agree with that. I mean, I give that a 4.5 out of 5. That was a real great tag team match from both the Bucks.
That was the first match of the night.
No, that was the second, wasn't it?
No, it was the first best match of the night. Well, the first.
Oh, first best match. Oh, okay. Well, okay, that makes sense. But still, that match itself was very great, very, full of, a lot of unique styles coming in regards to the Young Bucks. And then there's the violent nature of Moxley and Kingston, I mean, but, I think but I knew they were going to win because after all, it's the Young Bucks. What do you expect? I mean, they're like the founding fathers of AEW and they're the executive vice presidents of the freaking company. I mean, of course they're going to win, but still, I will say though, I wasn't, completely disappointed. So
Jose says hi, guys. Hello, Jose.
Oh, hey, Jose. Oh yeah, he's a good kid. Love him too. But if the shoe was on the other foot, I would have given it a 5 out of 5 if they awarded Moxley and Kingston the titles.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a great change of pace. I mean, after all, the Young Bucks. I mean, in my view, and this is just my opinion, and if someone doesn't agree with it, then I completely respect it. But the thing is, I don't think the Young Bucks even need the tag titles anymore, because if anything, I thought they would probably put the tag team division back in Dynamite to actually have more matches for the tag team division. But instead, I've seen nothing but Jack Diddley squat. Granted, they are one of the greatest tag teams alive today of this generation, but there comes a time where you really need to set the bar and push it to the next level in the tag team division. And they have the ability to do that, it's just that they're not executing it properly. That goes the same for the women's division, too.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have the Casino Battle Royal. Matt Sydal.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Last night. Go ahead and read it if you want, because I'm telling you, I thought Christian Cage was going to win it.
Matt Sydal was the first man eliminated with Max Caster using a low blow to self the elimination. Caster was then thrown over the top rope by Christian Cage, landing on the entrance right before falling to the floor for the elimination for the next suit during the match. Matt Hardy was out with the second group, but waited to enter the ring, so the action had broken down to just Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs in the ring. Participants continued filtering in and out with stars like Penta LO, Zero Builder, and Matt Hardy getting in the mix, and expected eliminations of many of the lower and mid-card participants. Jungle Boy scored a big elimination of Penta before Cage also made his way back to the match after spending several minutes on the outside, though not eliminated. Before the Joker was revealed, the match came down to Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, and both members of Private Party. The Joker was revealed as Leo Rush. Rush quickly ran through Hardy and Private Party. After his impressive front run, Rush tried to eliminate Private Party, but Hardy and the team having confused eliminated Rush. Cage and Jungle Boy teamed up to eliminate Private Party, leaving Hardy vulnerable and desperate to try and hook up with Cage based on their history in WWE.
Oh, yeah.
To quickly toss him over the top rope. Cage and Jungle Boy battled out in the fun and sequence before Jungle Boy finally scored the elimination to win a future title shot. The ending was solid, but there's only so good a match like this could be. At least the winner was a great choice and the fan reaction was outstanding. So the grade level is a C.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that one. Hold on. Let me just say this, Dante, and that's coming from what? CBS Sports?
Yes.
Okay, listen to this. That guy, whoever he is, if he had known, like, seen it from a fan's perspective at ringside and on watching it on pay-per-view just as a fan and not a critic, maybe he would have enjoyed it more. Because I enjoyed it. Because the fact that this match right here, it should have been that's higher than a C. I'm sorry, it is, and I'll tell you why. I give this match maybe a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. Why? Because that was a great moment for Jungle Boy to win that match. Nobody expected him to win out of all people, and the fans. And yet, you know what's so funny is the fact that this is coming from a wrestling critic, not a fan. And if he says, "Well, I am a fan," well, here's the deal: you're writing as a critic, not a fan. Need I say more?
Nope.
Exactly. But anyway, what else do we have on tonight's menu?
I was speaking my thoughts on it. I
know you. I know you are. I was just, giving out my thoughts before, because whoever that guy is, I'm sorry, he's a quack.
I did not expect Leo Rush to debut.
Oh, okay. I can tell what you're thinking. I mean, as much as I loved
debut, I didn't expect Jungle Boy to be the one that wins that Casino Battle Royal. That to me was out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, in my view, the thing is with Leo Rush. Here's the thing: I may have poked fun at him, during the 2020 era of the Rant and Rave podcast by calling him, I used to poke fun at him, call him the chocolate midget, but then again, that's kind of died down. And if he does watch stuff that I've done with all my friends, I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way, because I was just it's just a joke. I mean, it's anything to discriminate him or anything about him. It's just, a joke. But however, I will say though, I think I can understand where AEW could be going by signing him up, because one, it's a way to say, to stick it up to WWE's, rear. And also it could be a sign where we might, see maybe a cruiserweight or open weight division in AEW.
Yeah, I can see it. All right. Next is Anthony Ogogo versus Cody Rhodes. Rhodes easily slipped early. Ogogo hit the bolo punch to the stomach and then an Olympic slam for a 2 count. Rhodes hit a power slam but grabbed at his ribs after hitting the groove. QT Marshall got involved before he was chased off by Arn Anderson. Ogogo continued hitting high-impact moves, putting the pressure on Rhodes to defend his ribs. As Rhodes fought back, he busted Ogogo open and began targeting the cup for hitting the springboard cutter. Ogogo came back by knocking Rhodes from the top rope with the right hand and hitting a frog smash for a 2 count. Rhodes went for crossroads, but Ogogo landed another bolo punch and an uppercut, secretly having the match won, but he pinned Rhodes at the edge of the ring when Rhodes' hand was under the bottom rope. Rhodes came back to hit a vertebraker for the 3 count, scoring the win over his inexperienced foe. Go is solid for where he is in his career, but this wasn't a highlight on a show that has had many of them for the buy-in on. So the grade level is a C.
Okay, that right there can be justified in a sense because I noticed that Cody Rhodes, and this is just me seeing it as a fan, I noticed that Cody Rhodes has, is like becoming
Hold
the
on, Jordan, I'm
Triple H.
sorry to cut you off. David said season 2 after a 1 year off season. LOL. Anyway, hello guys. Hello, David.
Well, that's the problem, David. There's two problems. One, I mean, of course, it's going to be like a seasonal thing, like yearly. I mean, and two, there's only two L's in hello.
Yeah. Hey, Tom Willis, how you doing?
Oh, hey Tom, how you doing, man? But yeah, I think the whole big issue was the fact that Cody Rhodes winning again it's not really a big deal, but it's the fact that, people are starting to think of him more like the Triple H of 2002 through 2005 or the Jeff Jarrett of 2002 through 2006. You know what I mean? Because it's like, the golden shovel effect. And I think in my personal perspective, now the match itself on paper and onto the eyes of a casual viewer was good, but at the same time, you probably knew what the outcome was going to be before the bell even rang. Now, if a Go had won, then maybe that would have been a little bit better because that would have been a change of pace. Like look at 2020 of Revolution before the pandemic hit. Look at the match between Cody Rhodes and MJF. That is how you put new stars over. And MJF, he may have won the match by cheating, but still, he still got put over. And
Right.
hold on, we know Cody was going to be the light AEW version of Triple H. He has been hinting at that even before AEW had a network. Well,
I gotta agree with Tom here.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to disagree with that. But don't forget about Jeff Jarrett now.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the match in itself, I mean, I'll give it like a 2.5 or a 3 out of 5 because I mean the match was too predictable when it comes to the victor in the match.
Yeah. Agree with you on that one. Anyway, next we have the TNT Championship. Miro defending his title against Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk monster. Archer jumped Miro before the bell, taking the fight to the champion, dropping him with a boot to the face. Archer hit a rope walk moonsault and then put Miro through a table at ringside. Miro broke away from the fight and tried to recover while roaming around ringside before catching a charging Archer and throwing him over the ringside barricade and then onto a group of fans. Miro rolled out of the way of a top rope moonsault from Archer before hitting a fallaway slam for a near fall. Jake Roberts charged to the ring and tried to pull a snake from the bag, but Miro attacked him and threw the bag down the entrance.
Wait a minute. I hate to cut you off. You know what Tom just said? He even came out using Triple H's throne in there for the first pay-per-view of AEW, like the one in 2019, Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is actually good pointing out. But anyway, continue reading.
All right, Jake Roberts. As Miro tried to finish off Roberts, Archer caught him with a chokeslam for a 2 count. Miro kicked the bottom rope into the groin of Archer before hitting a jumping kick. That allowed Miro to stomp Archer's back and lock in game over to put Archer to sleep for the finish. It was a good big man action in this one, letting Miro score a big win in his first TNT title defense. And the grade level is a B. Jordan?
Hang on.
We couldn't hear you there.
Sorry. Had a little bit of an issue because somebody just came home and wanted me to move. But anyway, hang on 1 second.
All right, y'all. So hold on a minute, y'all. Jordan will be right back.
All right, I'm back. So,
right,
the match between Miro and Archer, right?
Yeah, it's a B.
Okay. I think that was pretty. That's justifiable. because when you think about it, like it's actually good to see Miro get showcased on pay-per-view in singles action and also with a title, because and another thing, this is actually a year since the title debuted. You know that, right? Like the TNT title.
Mhm.
And now, I mean, for the first time, this is like the second time that Archer has competed, for the TNT title for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So that's kind of a odd twist when you think about it, even though it was already booked. But I will say though that I knew Miro was going to win the entire time because, like, come on, dude, you just put the title on the guy. If you just like have him, if you like take it off him, like after he's won it for quite some time, that's bad booking and that's bad, business. Because why would you want to job someone out after they just won a title? You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Nyla Rose from last year.
Yeah.
They just put the freaking belt on her, and then they have her drop it to, Hikaru Shida. And, even though Shida won the match because she paid tribute to her friend that recently committed suicide, who was also a wrestler, may she rest in peace, still, I just don't find it good business when you just put a belt on somebody and then you just immediately, do what you can just to take it off them. So I'm glad that they didn't do that. And I give this match maybe a 3.5 or a 4, maybe, I don't know. But it was actually pretty good that they didn't, make Miro look weak. And same thing goes for Archer, even though losses are really affecting his reputation.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Anyway, next we have Hikaru Shida defending her AEW.
Oh, speak of the devil, Hikaru Shida.
defending her AEW Women's Championship against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
The new gold-plated version of the women's title.
Yeah. Shida took Baker to the mat quickly and began working a flurry of submission holds. Baker avoided a Shida dropkick before rolling out in the ring to break the champion's momentum. Shida did hit a dropkick, but Baker was able to get the upper hand shortly after, taking Shida down on the outside and landing stomps and knees to the face of the champion once they re-entered the ring. As Shida tried to scramble from the clutches of Baker, Baker hit her with a curb stop before putting on a sequinic glove. Shida tried to fire back, but Baker planted her face into the middle turnbuckle. Shida fired up and flurried with big strikes to the face and head of Baker. Shida followed up with a series of knee strikes to score a near fall. Baker came back with a swinging neckbreaker for her own 2 count. Baker hit a huge rake crash before 2 count before trying to apply lockjaw. Shida took the action to the top rope, hitting a superplex, and then tried to go right back to the top rope, but settling for a stretch mark where Baker fought back. Shida gave up the hold to chase Rebel, who had taken her belt. Rebel then accidentally hit Baker with her crutch around Shida to score a 2 count. As the referee was ejecting Rebel from ringside, Baker delivered a kick to Shida before stopping her on the belt, but Shida managed to kick out. The action flurried back and forth down the stretch before Baker secured lockjaw to force the submission. The match was a bit oddly paced in some sections. Didn't make much sense, like Shida abandoning a submission to chase Rebel simply for holding the championship belt. It was a good moment for Baker, who seems like a star in the making, but it was immediately a bit disappointing for the end of Shida's reign and the beginning of Baker's. So it's a C+.
Wait. Time the frick out. What did that person say it was?
A C+.
A C+? Is this guy high?
But
okay. First of all, go ahead.
First of all, it was kind of justified. We all knew Britt Baker was going to win, considering how long Shida has been AEW Women's Champion.
True.
But second, it was the only way to get Britt Baker over.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, for someone to say that is a C+, that guy must be high now. I mean, I cannot take this guy seriously, whoever that is on CBS Sports. But I will say, though, the match in and of itself, it doesn't have to be a complete masterpiece like when you saw Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa in that match on Dynamite, which garnered a lot of attention. You remember that match?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't have to be that kind of match, because when you think about it, this is a heel we're talking about here to win a match by any means necessary, and what you saw there is simply just that, a heel winning a match, whether it be by attempts by cheating or through dirty tactics. And even though Britt Baker was at the top of her level, I don't really give this match a C at all, or a C plus. I mean, that's higher than that. I mean, I gave this match maybe a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5, because this match was really worth it to watch. And on top of that, Britt Baker worked herself off for an entire year, and from injury, from all the other stuff she went through to finally get this moment. So for that little schmark right there who writes a C plus, yeah, come on. Like I said, you're writing as a critic, not a wrestling fan. And besides, this moment was good for Britt Baker, because let's face facts. Now she gets to hold literal gold. Okay, let me say that again, gold. So for you to sit back there and type on your little keyboard and write this review and think that it's a C plus, go screw yourself, dude. Because if anything, this match deserves a B plus or an A minus.
Yeah.
Where do we come across these, freaking narcs?
Everywhere we go. All right, next it is Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page.
Oh my God, that. By all means, take it away. But while you do that, I'm gonna get my food. I'll be right back.
All right. The teams brawled from the jump before Sky hit a suplex on Sting on the entrance ramp. Sting popped right back up, however, and dove off the ramp onto Sky and Page before the match hit the ring and settled into a standard tag match. Sting and Allin had the area advantage before Paige swept Allin's legs as Allin was standing on the top rope. Paige will eventually press slam Allin from the ring into the front row, calling back to some of the classic brutal moments from the rivalry in Evolve. Allin was able to beat the 10 count and eventually fought back to make the hot tag to Sting. Sting nearly pinned Paige with a code red. Paige went for an Eagle's Edge on Allin, but Sting swept his legs and locked in the Scorpion Deathlock. Sky then locked Allin in a heel hook, and Allin and Paige began slapping each other and gouging eyes until the holds were broken by the ref. Sky and Sting battled down the stretch before Sky tried to flip in the ring with the cut of the skin count and into a Scorpion Death Drop for the 3 count. Sting is much better than he has any right to be on this age, and the 3 other members are all tremendous talents. Had a hot crowd, and the match was a success, even if it wasn't an all-timer or anything of the sort. So the great level on that match is a B.
Personally, I give it maybe a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. But here's the deal. With Sting returning to action in front of a live capacity crowd, that is a moment worth looking at, because I understand why they did that movie match at Revolution. They did that because it wasn't because Sting was out of shape or whatever, because Steve Orton, he's in great shape. granted, he's not got the biggest, how do I put it, a bodybuilder, the form of a bodybuilder, but he's willing to do what he needs to do to go out there and perform. And yet the movie match, that was all just, to keep him safe, from, any mistakes being made. And plus, here's a fun factor, that on Revolution, there wasn't that much of a big jam-packed crowd. If anything, if you're going to have Sting there, you should have him compete in front of a jam-packed audience. 5,500 people. That's enough for even Sting to perform at a high level. And on top of that, I thought it was really great to, to see that, because I knew what they were doing. They were waiting for the right opportunity so that way Sting can perform in front of a live audience in a full capacity, not a small capacity, but a full capacity. Yeah. And this match was good for both him and Darby Allin, both the mentor and pupil too. I mean, granted, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, to be honest with you, I don't really see them much as a great tag team. If anything, I think Scorpio needs to strike out on his own. Because if he's going after the TNT title, even though that was the original, plan, he might as well do that amongst the other things. Because he did say in his words, like on one time, that he wants to go after all the titles. And personally, since he's already a former AEW World Tag Team Champion, well, it's time to go after the TNT title. But the thing is, you can't take it off Miro because he's already been champion for like quite some time. But still, at the end of the day, the match was great. Steve Borden, Sting, he was good. A lot of great moments there. And he really knows how to bring out the best in a lot of men, that step in the ring with him.
Yep. All right. Then we got...
We know where this is going.
We're going Kenny Omega defending the AEW Championship against Pac and Orange Cassidy. Cassidy was bounced immediately after the start of the match, but made his way to the ring to try a pair of lazy pins after Pac and Omega crashed into each other with dual cross bodies. Cassidy hit Omega and Pac with a double robber before a suicide dive with Pac and a DDT on Omega. Pac began methodically working on both men, hitting a double dropkick in the process. The focus of the match briefly shifted into a battle between Omega and Pac before Cassidy eventually worked his way back into the match and hit Omega with a stun dog millionaire. As Omega was trying to bridge out of the Cassidy pin, Pac came crashing down with a 450 splash. Omega came back with snapdragon suplexes on both men but took a high-velocity German suplex from Pac. Cassidy blocked a top rope snapdragon by getting his hands in his pocket, allowing Pac to hit an avalanche German suplex on Omega. Cassidy then dove onto Pac. After more wild offense by all three men, Omega pulled off his knee pad and delivered a series of knees to the face of Cassidy. Cassidy hit Omega with a Mikinoshi driver before Pac hit Cassidy with a brainbuster for the 2 count. Pac hit an avalanche Falcon Arrow on Omega, but it was thrown from the ring by Cassidy, who pinned Omega for a near fall that caused the crowd to explode in cheers. Omega broke up a Pac pin on Cassidy after a Black Arrow. Pac then missed a Black Arrow on Omega. Omega went for a One-Wing Angel, and Pac countered into a Brutalizer. Cassidy hit both men with orange punches before firing them. Cassidy hit another orange punch on Pac and seemingly had the match won, but Don Callis ran in to pull the referee from the ring. Cassidy tried for a diving DDT on Pac, but Pac caught him and locked him with the Brutalizer. Omega ran in and began stomping the head of Pac, but Pac refused to let go. Omega then stopped the referee, took one title belt from Callis and used it to hit Pac, and then hit him with a second belt, and then the same with a third belt, and then again with belt number 4. Cassidy slipped back into the ring and hit Omega with an orange punch. A second referee ran in to count the pin, but Omega reversed into a crucifix for the 3 count. Triple threat matches can often be pacing nightmares, but this really showcased the best of all 3 men and brought a ton of drama. When the crowd is fully fighting on Orange Cassidy near falls in the world title match, things are going well, and the grade level is an A. Second match of the night. Second best match of the night.
I thought it would have been an A+, but then again, can't really, complain much, especially if it's coming from a narc or maybe a smark, if you want to call that one. But
yeah.
I will say though, the match itself, I knew Kenny Omega was going to win, but I really wanted it to be Pac. Because if anything, Pac has, been through a lot lately. I mean, he couldn't compete on AEW for like the majority of the year when it came to the whole COVID, thing, being like he was trapped, like wrapped away from, like he was like away from AEW and from America for quite some time, which was very, very awful to hear. And, oh, okay. Yeah, Brandon was just.
Hold on. Brandon says,
something.
Although it is off topic, last night's AEW Double or Nothing 2021 review. As tomorrow night, they will be having episode 86 of the Random Rave podcast at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central on Brandon Martin's channel. Go check that out.
Yep, it's a good plug-in. But anyway, one thing I will say though is, like with this match right here, it was predictable. But I really wanted, Pac to win because he's been through a lot. Now, Orange Cassidy, I was like, there's no way he's going to take this to a high level. But then again, like always, he always fools us, to making us underestimate him. Because at times, I thought he would have won the match. I mean, that would have actually been real interesting if you had Orange Cassidy as the champion. I'm not going to lie. That would have been very, very, bizarre. And you know what? And if you know me, I'm the kind of guy that likes, a bizarre moment, like an unexpected moment that will happen out of nowhere. But as for Kenny Omega, that was predictable. I mean, I give this match a 4, maybe 4.5 out of 5. But it is deemed worthy as match of the night. Not gonna lie, one of the 2 matches. Oh, and keep in mind, this is coming from. These are the 2 matches of the night are men who are, amongst the elite. And you're probably wondering, they have to perform at their very best. But the problem is that they're retaining their titles on their turf. Yeah.
Yep.
I love Kenny Omega, but then again, I just don't like the character he's portraying. I mean, this character right here is so underrated. It makes his title reign and his existence as a title underrated. If this was the Kenny Omega from New Japan Pro Wrestling, I would actually take him serious.
Yeah,
I know what they're doing with Kenny Omega here, and it really pains me to say this. They're trying to make him the new Austin Aries, and here's why. They're making him win world titles from different promotions. You got the AEW World Championship, he's got the Impact Championship, now there's the TNA title, even though they should bring TNA back. I'm sorry, I'm getting sick of death of Impact. And then there's the AAA Mega Championship. I mean, what else is he going to get? Is he going to get the IWGP Heavyweight Championship soon? Is he going to get the, I don't know, what else is he going to get here? Maybe the MLW World Heavyweight title? I mean, that would be interesting.
Or he might be WWE champion.
Oh, God, I highly doubt there's going to be a crossover between AEW and WWE. But then there's the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, which I doubt. I highly doubt that Nick Aldis is going to lose that title anytime soon. But if he goes after the NWA title and tries to get a collection of belts, kind of like Austin Aries did when he came back to Impact, for a 3rd time, I'll be shocked.
I'll be damn shocked as well.
But then again, it's called it's called making history. But then again, they have to do it by repeating history.
That's a lot of history.
But then again, we get to the main event, which is actually a very well done main event, and live, mind you.
Yes, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle in a Stadium Stampede match.
And the stipulation is that the Inner Circle lost, they would be forced to disband.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. All right. Inner Circle repelled from the top of the stadium scoreboard before the match. MJF was alone, but the rest of the Pinnacle members arrived at FTR's truck and the brawl began. As the teams fought through the stadium, Chris Jericho got MJF one-on-one and began delivering a meeting before they went inside and MJF threw hot coffee in Jericho's face. Jericho came back using baking trays, tables, and other items before Jaguar coaches Urban Meyer and Charlie Strong threw Jericho footballs and a laptop to use to hit MJF. Action then cut to Jake Hager and Wardlow battling through the food prep area before Wardlow speared Hager through a wall. Sammy Guevara found Shawn Spears sitting in a room full of chairs when the 2 brawled through out of the room dock area. Spears was eventually able to handcuff Guevara to some shelving but left both cuts within reach. FTR, Santana, and Ortiz found themselves in a nightclub that explicitly had patrons and Conan as the DJ, sharing a shot before brawling. Action continued to cut between the various pairings, including MJF nearly pinning Jericho in a boardroom after a pile driver on a table. Jericho and MJF battled into Daly's place with the live crowd. Guevara ran Spears down with a golf cart also in Daly's place. Spears delivered some violent chair shots to Guevara, but Guevara managed to kick out of the pin. Guevara fought back to stomp Spears into a chair before hitting a 630 senton to pin Spears and secured the win for Inner Circle. This certainly was wild and had some memorable moments. It also had some big low points, including some really bad rock work. That said, it was a fun time, and battling back into Daly's place before the finish was a very good idea, allowing the crowd to react to the finish and sing along to Judas to close the show. So the grade level is a B.
I give it higher than that.
They could be a part of that.
Oh, he's talking about the Matt Taven interview, which is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But in all seriousness, though, I gotta say, I give the match a 4 out of 5, and I think I loved it more than anything. It was probably a step up better than the previous year's Stadium Stampede, and it was live.
Yep.
And I mean, I didn't expect this match to be live, but then again, what can you expect? In fact, this whole pay-per-view from beginning to end was actually pretty perfect. Sure, it had its ups and downs, but then again, you can't take away the fact that that we're watching a wrestling pay-per-view with a live, full, jam-packed crowd in Daly's place. I mean, fans have been waiting to be, close to the action and be amongst one of each other, for a long, long time. I mean, I would love to be a part of that kind of, crowd interaction, because to me, without a crowd, I just don't see the point. Sure, you could try doing those things like WWE does, the Thunderdome, or other things like try to have wrestlers act like fans. But to me, I love it with, a live audience more than anything. Especially without the whole 6 feet apart social distancing BS. Now, I didn't expect the Inner Circle to win, but I did want them to. Because, if anything, Inner Circle is like one of the greatest factions within AEW, and it's actually one of the few reasons why AEW Dynamite is on its feet. I mean, Jericho with him, having to, rebuild himself, and having to, do whatever it takes to make his character look good. I mean, if anything, him along with Guevara, Santana Ortiz, and Hager, I mean, I don't want those guys to split, anytime soon. If anything, I want them to last for a long while, to a point where that's necessary for them to go their separate ways. To a point where we'll have Santana Ortiz maybe finally get the AEW tag team titles, and then there's, Hager, maybe one day he'll become a world champion. And then maybe Guevara, who knows, maybe he'll become like a TNT champion or maybe a world champion too in his own right. At the end of the day, I would, if there's one thing I would not want to do, I wouldn't want to leave Chris Jericho's side.
No, I wouldn't either.
Jericho, is a great guy. Not gonna lie. Oh, and by the way, just so we're clear, Jim Cornette, just because he has a conservative point of view doesn't mean you have to cut ties with the guy. I mean, Jericho is entitled to his own opinions and his, political thinking, just like we all are. Not just you.
Yep. Whew. So that's our review for Double or Nothing 2021. Now, it is time to make our predictions for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, I forgot to mention, it's Memorial Day.
Before you go into that, I want to say I'm going to give last night's AEW Double or Nothing event 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Ooh, good one. Now, we're going to make our predictions for tonight's special Memorial Day episode of Monday Night Raw. And before we get to that, we want to say thank you to the men and women who sacrificed their lives for our country, and we will never forget you guys.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
All jokes aside, hold on, I'm trying to check something real quick. Yeah, he's still alive. Let me just say this. Someone has decided, I'm not going to name drop anybody, but I will say, though, after this live stream is over, I'm going to see if I can get on another panel to talk to someone about, the quote-unquote truth about Memorial Day, because that kind of rubs me the wrong way when someone has the truth about it and make it, look like it's a terrible holiday, even though it's not really much of a holiday. It's more like a day where we pay tribute to the honor and give our respect to the brave women and men and women who, gave their lives to protect us and let us live about our daily lives and, have the freedom to choose however we see fit to run our lives. Because if there's one thing I cannot stand is my inner patriotism being what am I trying to say here? Yeah, my inner patriotism being insulted, you know? Now, granted, this individual, I got no problems with him. I just would want to have a talk with him. Not going to shout or scream. Just want to talk to him later. But anyway, continue, Dante. I just want to get that out of the way.
All right. Here you go. Tonight's Raw on the USA Network will be headlined by Kofi Kingston versus Drew McIntyre, with the winner going on to challenge Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. All right. They have announced the following show. All right. Raw. AJ Styles will almost defend the Raw Tag Team titles against Elias and Jackson Ryker. What's your prediction? AJ Styles and Omos or Elias and Jackson Ryker?
Is it for the tag titles?
Yes, for the tag titles.
I'm leaning on AJ and Omos for that one.
Why?
Well, excuse me. I think it's the fact that, you're already building a star in Omos, and plus, if you're going to have him and AJ be a good tag team, don't make them, lose to someone like Elias and, Jackson, Nothing personal against them. That's just how I see it.
All right.
And plus, they won the tag titles at WrestleMania. I mean, cut them some slack.
Yeah, I'll go with AJ Styles and Omos too. Then we got Randy Orton versus Xavier Woods. Who's going to win that one?
I'm leaning towards Orton.
Yeah, me too. Makes sense. Because we all know Randy's going to win that one. Then we got Shayna Basler versus Reginald. What do you think's going to win that one?
I know how that match is going to be. It's going to be more of an utter joke.
Yeah, Shayna's going to win this one.
Yeah. But however, if Reginald somehow pulls off an upset, that'll be shocking.
Yeah, that would. Then Miz returns to host Miz. He would think Charlotte Raw Women's Champion.
Is a fight going to break out?
I thought he was going to. Yes. But I thought he was injured after WrestleMania Backlash.
Wait, hold on. Does it say that the Miz is hosting it?
Yeah, Miz is hosting Miz TV.
Maybe he's going to do it by live via satellite.
We'll see. All right, then we got, as I said, we got Kofi Kingston versus Drew McIntyre, with the winner becoming the new #1 contender to challenge WWE Champion Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell. Who do you think is going to win that one?
I'm going to have to say Kingston. No offense to Drew McIntyre, but he needs to be backing off from the title picture for quite some time, because if you give a guy too many title shots, it becomes repetitive and some people find it annoying. Like, look at Orton last year. He got too many title shots. Let's not overlook that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Drew McIntyre. He a good guy.
I love Drew. I love Randy. I love them both. Problem is, if you have a repetitive match for the world title and you see the same outcome over and over, granted Orton did win last year's Hell in a Cell, but that was an unexpected moment. But the difference here is, if you have someone like Drew McIntyre just face the same guy over and over, it becomes, not only repetitive, it becomes stale. If you're gonna freshen your product, you gotta give like someone like Bobby Lashley new challengers.
Yep, I agree on you.
And plus, who knows? This might give Kofi a chance to regain the title that he should have never lost to that roid-raging retard Brock Lesnar, who freaking knows how to bury somebody within a moment's notice.
But to be honest, it was Kofi Kingston's fault, because how the hell are you going to leap to Brock Lesnar?
Here's the one thing here, Dante. If there's one thing that that Kofi is not, he's not a Super Saiyan. See, Brock went Super Saiyan on Kofi within seconds. And plus, we all know that match was bogus, and it should have been longer. But then again, Then again, it's a time constraint. It's a time constraint. Yeah, I'm sure you got a lot of time constraints, Fox.
My foot.
Yeah, you know what? And then you have like freaking oh yeah, and then you had that guy. What's his name again? That came out after that. Well, what was his name again? His
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez. Thank you. I was just about to say that. Cain Velasquez. Yeah. How long did that turn out for WWE? Huh? I mean, after all, I know they cut ties with him, just like they cut ties with a lot of people, due to budget cuts. But yeah, so as far as this, match between McIntyre and Kingston, I'm gonna go with Kingston because
I go to Kingston too. Hello, Mitchell.
Yeah, because it's time for Bobby Lashley to have new challengers. Now, Braun Strowman could have been something, but then again, I understand why they made the triple threat because they had to make it look good, even if you have or don't have, Braun or Drew in the mix.
Yeah, I agree. I go with Kingston too. I'm sorry, Drew, but it's time for Kingston to get his moment. All right, well, whew, I can't believe it. Well, guys, I guess that will be it. Going to be both of y'all out of here. That is going to be it for the season 2 premiere of WrestleSpeak Podcast. Wow.
Well, if that's going to be it, I'm going to do my usual outro. And by the way, hello, Mitch, and also happy Memorial Day to you too, brother. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Please be sure to comment down below if you missed your chance in the live chat. And also subscribe to Dante Pittman and hit the notification bell whenever he does a video or live stream like this one at all times. Same goes for yours truly here, J-Man's Legit. And also, if you want to, go to Brandon Martin's channel. If you want to find it, just type in Rant and Rave Podcast. That's RANT space and space RAVE and space podcast. And once you type that in, you'll find Brandon. You'll find Brandon's channel, and then you'll see episodes of Rant and Rave coming soon. And also subscribe to Hangman Charlie if you haven't done that already. You can type in the same name as it is in the chat, as he's talked. That also goes the same for Tom Willis, the Tom Willis Show, David 3000, the Jose Backup, and Michael Bombardier, and Mitchell Hill Jr., of course, and Emo Inuyasha, Brandon Beauregard. With that all being said, God bless you all. Have a great night, and stay healthy for an even better day tomorrow. Now, if you excuse me, I've got some chicken tenders to eat from Zaxby's. Good night, everybody.
Good night. See y'all next time.